What's up, Mac Nostalgia? Dave here with a review of Yeji's debut solo EP, Air. Yeji, the first member of ITZY to release a solo project. Although all the ITZY members did release solo tracks on the recent albums, but this is still a pretty big step forward for the JYP group. And I've been struggling with ITZY the last handful of releases at this point. For me, it's really just been the inconsistency of the group. They're just so up and down really in terms of concept, in terms of song idea, where I find something I really like, such as Untouchable, and then something I really don't care for, such as Gold. And it does feel like, at least to a certain extent, ITZY is kind of being left behind by some of their girl group peers, especially some of the newer groups that are a few years newer than them. Nonetheless, I'm still a fan of the group because I think when they're on, they're a really engaging, fun, light group. It makes sense that Yeji would release some solo music because, I mean, her early days, for time she was really public, she actually was on like an audition show of some kind as a soloist, which was like an early first taste. But really, she is a very talented, K-pop star, very much fitting that all-rounder ace archetype in terms of just quality singer, dancer, presence, versatile on the mic, engaging. I've always been a fan of her. I think she's consistently the strongest or one of the strongest members on any given ITZY song. And even though ITZY's been around for a while now, pre-pandemic they debuted, Yeji's only 24, so there's so much runway for her to, be a successful soloist in addition to, a big part of ITZY. Yeji's debut EP, Air, is a great success. I honestly think this is an awesome sound for her. Air clearly communicates a solo identity for Yeji, separate from her successful work as one of the key members of ITZY. My biggest beef with this EP, this mini album, is that it's so short. It's only 4 songs. We needed so much more from this, but thankfully all 4 of these songs are successful. The Air title track is an electropop song. It's just great drums. I think they're really fun. I love the way the bass drops in the chorus, these twinkly chimes, adding some more bass with the second verse. Yeah, I think the Air refrain is a bit repetitive and not great, but thankfully we don't really linger on that, and the lyrics are actually pretty solid. I also really enjoyed like the breakdown at the end of the song. Invasion is another great song. I think that beat is awesome. I love that synth melody. The call and response vocals on the second verse are great, and Yeji singing just some really smooth vocal flourishes. And then on the outro, you have these like choir vocals in the background with Yeji. I like this song. Can't Slow Me No, very up tempo, lots of bells, kind of like a classic ITZY vibe. This one very much sounds like an ITZY song, has that playful energy. Almost sounds like Yeji's doing like the traditional like Rujin ad libs you would hear in a normal ITZY song. There's also a lot of English on this. I'm curious if this actually was like a reused, recycled ITZY song they decided to use as a solo song instead. And then lastly, 258, another electropop song. I love the tempo in the verses. I don't really love the chorus though. I don't think it really stands out too much. It's just less groovy than how the verses are going, which I think is a lot more engaging than that chorus. But the bridge is still pretty good. So I think that's probably my least favorite song, 258, but still a solid track at the end of the day. But that's why we always want more on a project. 4 songs is barely an EP. 4 songs is such a brief moment, and especially when you're debuting as a soloist, you have these 4 songs. The solo song she released on the last ITZY project. There's just so much more to put out there, you know. But like that's just how these projects often go, right? She's gonna promote the single Air, and then I'm sure there'll be ITZY music coming out this summer. That's just how these small mini album cycles go, but I definitely would have liked to hear more. Nonetheless, still in on ITZY and in on Yeji as a soloist, so hoping to hear more soon. Let me know though what you think of Yeji's debut EP, Air. What was your favorite song? Which you like most about it? And for more music reviews, more K-pop reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.